Buenos mañanas. Good morning. We are sneaky. Snake. Poor fella. Oh. He lost his head. Being a receptionist is hard work. I'm trying to be thorough. I've always enjoyed the kind of genre mixing that Obsidian and Bethesda done with the Fallout type games. Always been a fan. She blinded me, Messiah. Technology. Poetry in motion. She blinded me with science. Ooh, I got skills. people have breakdowns. Auto mechanicals never do. Yeah. I'm not too sure about this one. Alright, let's get perky. Ooh. Do I want to walk the walk, or do I want to talk the talk? Huh. I guess I should be quiet, because it's early in the morning and people are still sleeping. But that's no fun.
One down!
So which way do I go, George? Which way do I go?
Get ready! Everyone all right?
Nice. Immunosol. Sounds like a COVID vaccine. Just a moment here. Yeah, you're in my wife's stream. Give me just a moment here. Sorry, I just need to adjust some settings here real quick. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I do call you guys. Chatting.
Everyone all right? There they go.
I need to turn down my... No, I don't like that. Screw that. Should we turn the sound down a bit? I don't really stream too much anymore. I used to a lot. I used to be on Ustream at like 40,000 views on there a long time ago. And I really just mess around on YouTube some. I don't know, I think the most I've ever had on YouTube was 160 subs. But I don't really stream regularly, and I don't show my face and do all the chatty shit, and you know, I don't, so I'm not very attracted to viewers, but I also used to be pretty fucking busy with a regular paycheck, so I wasn't too worried about monetizing on YouTube. If I'd have stuck with it for a few years, though, I'd probably have a pretty damn good following and could have made some money, but meh, whatever. No, I just occasionally play some video games and stream them. I throw my D&D game up every once in a while too, for fun. We used to do like talk show type, where we just chat or other stuff.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, so I don't know. We might do a talk show again at some point where we do that sort of thing. Oh, hey, Deepak. What's up? So, how's the business going, Deepak? Oh, what, we're homies now? We're chicken wing and bologna kind of homies? Oh, you know. Bien. Sí. Es bien. Muy bien. ¿Y tú? You making lots of money off the large Indian market for YouTube? Oh, yeah. I'm wandering in circles. I don't really pay attention to where I was, where I came from. Hey Deepak, I don't have a monitor up, bro. Is my audio shitty? After 6 months, yes, bro. It's been 6 months. Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear it's not gotten off the ground for you, Deepak. I enjoy reveling in the success of other human beings, and I wish you all the best in all of your endeavors. Or are you saying nope about my audio being shitty? Am I happy? Oh, I am better than happy, my friend. Better than happy. I am that which few men ever are. I am contented. There is no hole in my heart longing to be filled, Deepak. For I have all in this world that I truly need and desire. And it is not sourced from wealth or material things. So my happiness is not a question of money or providence. No, not really. I haven't really tried to purchase a PS5, and PS5s aren't really the source of my happiness, so I'm okay with that. I don't know, maybe at some point I will. Right now, production is minimal for just about everything. So we're either engineering scarcity to drive up demand, or manufacturing has been significantly reduced and supply is honestly deterred. So, besides, first gen consoles tend to have issues that have to be corrected 6 months later. So, I mean, if I end up getting one, I will probably be happy with not having to rush right out and get one. I know they say there's going to be some available here soon for Christmas. Whether or not that's true, I do not know. So, one of my main concerns about these consoles is cooling issues. So it really sucks to buy a $400 machine that could potentially have cooling issues, even though I do keep my machines cool and clean. And every time I've gotten a console, it usually will run 3 to 4 years for me before I have any problems at all. So
No, just leave me alone. Good morning.
Go sleep, Kelly. You're supposed to be sleeping. Say what? I'm chatting with Deepak Sahu Vikram has successfully landed on the moon.
Good morning, Deepak.
How do you say good morning in Hindi? I do not know either. Is it afternoon in India? What time is it in?
6 hours ahead at least.
Oh, you figure. Kind of like Ireland.
5 hours maybe?
He said he was in Jakarta. What time is it in Jakarta? Yeah. How close is that to the border with Pakistan? Oh, it's evening time. Buenas noches. Amigo. Me hombre.
Not real. You're not real.
Fato. Benchelta.
Get away!
Evening time. It is 5 p.m. in Jakarta. Well, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, Deepak.
6:30 at night right now.
They're 12 hours? Wow, he's literally on the other side of the planet. I see.
Not real. You're not real.
Well, that makes sense that he's on the other side of the planet because I live in the sphincter of the world. No, not that one.
Go away, Phantom.
You love my streaming. Well, if you enjoy my streaming, you need to tell all of your friends to subscribe to my channel. And in fact, everyone that you meet with a computer and an internet connection, you need to tell them right now to subscribe to my channel, to follow me on Instagram, to subscribe to me on Twitter, to follow me on Twitch, and throw lots of money at me on Patreon so I can buy cool things and go cool places and show you lots of cool things, Deepak. I mean, I could really provide some interesting content endlessly with a never ending creative spirit. Unfortunately, I am far too broke to just throw lots of time and money into YouTube or Twitch. But if I was freelancely unemployed by the public and they gave me lots of money, I would do all sorts of fun and cool things and tell you interesting facts. Just wait, bruh. Deepak, we've already waited 6 months, bruh. What happens in 6 months? Tell me. I long to know the future, Deepak, and the future is Deepak. It's true. I seen it. I seen it in the tarot cards.
Just leave me alone.
This is why I never make progress on a video game. In this place for like 40 minutes, wandering in circles, talking to Deepak.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Is there a map to this motherfucker? Yes. 6 floors. I will give you, after 6 months, $4K dollars. Wait, what? Well, Deepak, I would have to give a lot of handies under the bridge downtown to make $4K dollars in 6 months. So, bruh, I mean, if I could make $4K dollars in 6 months just talking to you on the internet, that would be so much more enjoyable than having to work in back alleys downtown by the Sizzler. So ashamed. But listen, a guy's got to make a living, okay? And, you know, I don't actually enjoy it, so it's just business, alright? It's not something I do for fun.
Unexpected.
I wear ladies' clothing and answer to Lola only by necessity. Not proud of it. Shit, people are killing each other. Where is it all? I can hear it. I can't see it.
That's the last of them.
Oh, it's you. Well, it's good to be serious in life, Deepak. I mean, a person can't go through life, you know, always joking. Oh, I got serious? Okay, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm sorry. Hot dogs and bologna, man. Chicken and macaroni. Let's chill, homie. Let's chill. Home dog. Homie G skillet. Cuz. Bato. What is that, dear? He's doing very well in this country. Oh, that's awesome. You know, I've always wanted to go see India. I've always wanted to go see Barakas and the Taj Mahal. Someday you should take me to go see the Taj Mahal, Deepak, and then I can learn from the yogis. And I can travel India like Aleister Crowley and what's up, Michael? 12 people working under you. You have employed 12 people, Deepak. Well, that's cool that you're helping people and families, you know, supporting them with your business. You're a good man, Deepak. You're a good man. So, what is this business? Are you selling crack? Are you running ladies of the night? Are you running an extortion protection bracket? I mean, how are you making money here? Are you you're in the business field? I see. Right on, Michael. Okay, cool. I've heard that twice this morning already. People are like, I wandered in from your wife's Twitch. Yes, welcome, Church Without a Roof ASMR followers. So, Deepak, I'm kind to every people's.
Tell them I'm gonna be on in 10 minutes.
Oh, now I'm advertising for you, so I just get your people who miss you and they just come in here because they're bored? Is that what you're saying, Kelly?
No, but I am saying I'm gonna be on Twitch in 10 minutes.
Okay, Kelly's gonna be on Twitch in 10 minutes. Wait, Deepak, you gotta tell me more about this business. So what do you do in the business field? Are you doing creative accounting? Are you cooking the books? Are you doing information technologies, multi-marketing? Are you just doing marketing stuff? Marketing people are the Satan himself. Sorry. I'm sorry, marketeers. And Google, if you're listening to this, and you probably are with your stupid dictation softwares, your marketing teams are literally birthed from the devil himself. And yes, that's the indignant dollar, and it's a very popular dollar right now, so also right along with the social unrest dollar. That's also a very popular dollar right now. Oh, you run a dubbing studio. Deepak, if you're taking my videos and you are dubbing them into Hindi, I fully expect that 4K dollars you were talking about in 6 months, bro. Fully expect it. You know, I'm still surprised that you have a market that you have a market for those. That you have a market for that media content where you're at. I'm honestly surprised by this, Deepak. I didn't realize that individuals in that region of the world would be interested in watching gaming videos being redubbed. I tell you what, Deepak, I'll trademark my voice and then I'll let you use my videos. That's a terrible idea. I'm just kidding. You have no permission to use my voice likeness, videos, or content. Yeah. Yes, I hear you. And who are you selling it to? Who's your biggest customer for GTA 5 videos redubbed into Hindi? Yeah, I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur myself, so I'm honestly curious that what you're doing here. I mean, I didn't know that it existed. Or I guess what I should ask is, how many videos have you sold so far? All Indian gamers. So, I mean, there are a lot of regions of the world that are really modernizing very fast, and they're pulling a lot of individuals out of poverty at rates that we haven't really seen in a long time. So I understand that there's a lot of areas where people for 1,000 years have been rural and agrarian, and now their infrastructure is improving. So these individuals are getting access to economies that provide them wealth, but also provide them modernization that they've not had before. So for these cultures that have never had these things, young people are adopting them at very fast rates because obviously they want the internet, they want free information, they want your multimedia stuff, they want social media, and I can see some of these individuals being very interested in aspects of culture from some of these larger nations, places like America, China, and the European Union. So I can see there being a market for it. I guess I'm just a little surprised that their interest is strong enough to for individuals to be paying you money for it. And I know that a lot of these larger titles aren't really translated into some of these languages and some of these growing or emergent communities and cultures. So in a way, I'm surprised by what you're saying, Deepak, but at the same time, too, I suppose that's kind of the natural evolution of cultures. I only see this a lot in very tribal cultures where individuals who are still trying to live very agrarian and close to the earth, their ways are being lost because the younger generations all are leaving their areas and they have no interest in learning their traditional languages, their traditional practices, because they all want to go be lawyers, or they all want to go be doctors, or they all want to, live in the city and go to college. And it's understandable that they want all these things. They want all the infrastructure and ease of life that comes with it, and all the pleasures and joy and fun. But at the cost of some of the cultures that have existed for 10,000 years. And one of the places that we see this most prevalently, I think, here in America is with a lot of the Native American tribes. Some of the individuals from like the Five Nations are often, once they get of a age where they can make decisions on their own, they'll flood away from the reservations and the tribal lands because they want to go to college and they want to, live in the city and they want to have the internet and they want to.
My sweet darling.
Yes.
By chance, do you know where your white headphones are? So that I can have my...
No, I have no idea, but I'll give you these.
Okay. Thank you. Too bad you can't use your headphones over top of those. You're like wireless.
Yeah, that doesn't work with the VR.
I'm so sorry. Is it going to cause problem for gameplay or for
Nope.
your stream?
Nope.
Okay. I do love you. Thank you for my headphones.
You're fine.
I'm going to go stream my stream.
Okay. Well, that seems a little redundant, I guess, that you're doing both redubbing with Hindi audio as well as giving subtitles for Hindi as well. Well, yeah, okay. Have you ever heard of databio.com? Do you know about this? Because I understand what you're doing here, and it makes a lot of sense. You're creating what they call a subgroup. There used to be one I used to follow maybe 15 years ago called databio.com, and it's a Japanese subgroup. And they used to do my favorite translations for shows like Bleach and the original Naruto. And a long time ago, when I watched those, I used to like to go to .bio and download their subs because they had the best. So I understand what you're doing, and I know that there's a market for it because people in America often would pay for subbed versions of Bleach and Naruto, and they were, you know, they were the current episodes from Japan too. So you weren't waiting for these serial episodes to be dubbed in English. You were getting them subtitled directly from a group that you could pay then to have that done. And I wasn't ever sure about the legality over copyright over that sort of thing. I'm not quite sure how they managed it, but the website was around for quite a while. Have you ever considered copyright issues with you selling essentially what's the property of another? Although I guess that's weird with video gaming. That's why you're doing video games, because video gaming streaming isn't necessarily the broadcasting of copyrighted content. It's the someone watching you use copyrighted material that you paid for. So I guess that makes sense to do that with video games, because you're not really infringing the intellectual property of another individual. Ay, ay, ay. No, bro, I can't really text you. I guess I could email you or something. It doesn't matter. I'm just pontificating on anthropology, I guess. What's your great idea? Lay it on me. Pitch me your ideas. Can think about it. You're in Shark Tank now. Yes, you have to convince me that your idea is valuable enough for me to allocate time. You should do Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Yeah. Well, I can see why you like GTA. GTA is very flashy. It's very American culture-esque. It's satire though, so in a way it's like really sticking it to the heart of the fucked up nature of American culture. Maybe that's why the Hindi love it so much, because they're like, not because they think America's really like that, but because they're like, look how really ridiculous American culture is, which is kind of the point of all the satire in that game, which I love that part of it, by the way. No issues. You're talking about regional coding? You should be able to get the game.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I do, girly, but tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel about it, girl.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once.
No, girl, lay it
Edgewater's
on me
hurting.
all at once.
We've been losing workers year after year, and the corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough saltuna to fill our bellies anymore.
I know, right, girl? That's why I'm destroying that other town.
Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering.
And here is the crux of our problem.
Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
So, in RPG games, no matter how hard I try, rarely am I ever able to pull off the villain. And it's no different in Dungeons and Dragons games. I just, for whatever reason, I kind of naturally gravitate towards the conversation of kindness and decency, but I even played this or started this with the intention to be a bad guy, but I don't see it playing out that way. I really don't see myself being the bad guy. Dang it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oh, jeez. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words. Well, in that order. So, what do you think I should do, Deepak? Should I cut the power off to the evil corporate mining town that creates indentured servants, makes people sick, and makes slaves out of them with the monetization of their ticket to Halicon? Or should I help the tree-hugging hippie forest people who've made a dome and grow plants? What do you think, Michael? What should I do here? Should I help the green thumbs? Or should I help the corporate overlords? I must admit, I feel a bit naughty. Muriel. Yeah, that's true. I got you. It is indeed a convoluted, Oh, no, I'm not propagandizing anybody. Nope. You believe what you want, friend. One literally is a, corporate, like a mining town, basically. It's true. Yeah, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, to their own perspective, they're the good guys. Everyone is the good guy in their own story, right? So, for the corporate town, I mean, the one guy thinks he's really doing what he needs to shut off the power from the other town and force all those individuals back into their corporate servitude. In this case, they literally trade their lives in exchange for a trip to this planet, much like the Irish did with the coal companies in early in America. So they're actually owned as property by this corporation. And they have to pay off their debt to that corporation, which is pretty much impossible for them. I mean, that's how these systems are set up. The only way that they can get infrastructure is by buying it from the corporation. So not only do they have to pay for the ticket, but once they show up, now they're renting a property and they're paying for food and all these items. It's designed to make it impossible for them to pay off. Kind of like the Federal Reserve Bank here in America. Impossible for us to pay off the interest on these. So these individuals that take this ride out to this frontier planet are now owned by this company. So some of them have left or been kicked out or deserted, and they've been sent to a camp where a woman has set up a greenhouse. And in this greenhouse, she's making food, and she's taking in the lost people. She's basically like Mother Teresa caring for the lost puppies of Africa, right? So the question here is, do I cut the power off from the lost puppies and force them back home to the corporate overlords? Or do I shut the power off from the corporate overlord town, forcing them out of business and sending everyone to be lost puppies cared by Mother Tree Isa and her green thumb? It's quite a conundrum. Quite a conundrum. If we shut the power off to the town, I think that they'll basically kind of be freed. They'll be deserters, and they'll technically still owe money to the corporation, but they won't have to pay them back because they won't be dependent on the company's infrastructure to live. So they could live their lives out, hopefully, at least for a while, without being in debt. Now, realistically, obviously this mega space corporation would send in mercenaries like they do in Africa when there's disputes over cobalt mines or diamond mines, and they would send in a mercenary company which would then come in without rules of engagement and then stick a gun in their face and then force them back to work. But this is a video game, so we don't necessarily have to worry about that. Or do we? Or do we? I don't know. What do I do? Really, all I care about is getting my ship parts, so I really don't. I mean, I'm kind of being a selfish, like, nerferter or a scallywag or a... Yeah, are we going to get away with this? Because, I mean, maybe we'll make their lives worse in the long run by bringing the thumb of the corporation down upon them. But honestly, I get to get on my ship and leave, probably, so I don't really have to suffer the consequences of their fate. So, I could be a selfish butthole about it. I could be a good guy in the guise of being a good guy, while really just being a selfish butthole. A little dark manipulative psychology on them. Sure, I'm the hero, follow me, lick my boots, and whatever else I say, and... Yay! Oh yeah, definitely. 60s America. Oh, no fucking joke. No freaking joke, man. Civil rights firing up towards the end. People filibustering that shit in Congress for 3 weeks? What the hell? We're getting pretty close to that kind of shit right now in America, too. Fun times. Fun fucking times. 22% efficiency. Oh, yeah. I know Australia's got some wild shit going on. I have somewhat of a professional interest in Australia because I am a integrated pest management professional. I own a pest control company here in the United States. And I know a few people who run pest control there in Australia, so I get to see all the interesting critters with which they. And I'm somewhat of a. I'm a little crazy about environmental sciences, so I also follow. I follow a woman in Australia who used to work. She There's no really easy way to put this. She was a prostitute in Australia, and she's a science author. She's written this book about her job as a prostitute. It's called like Pincushions and Pizza. But she's like a science blogger, so I read all of her science stuff. And she's always talking about what's going on in Australia. From the power shortages to issues in the government, to anti-vaccinations, gun control, all the shit that's going on. She's always talking about it. She's also always talking about how terrible America is and shit with our societal woes. I'm just like, whatever. And sometimes they get pissed at me because she's a lesbian and she's not really a man hater, but at the same time too, she's not necessarily a big fan of all things male in general. And I tend to be an individual who's defendant of men. I think there's way too much. What is the damn opposite of misogyny? I think there's way too much women and man hating equally out there, so I tend to get annoyed by that sort of thing. So I tend to bitch at her about it, and she'll literally, this chick's got thousands of followers, will literally come out and be like, fuck you. And I'm like, what? But yeah, she's got an interesting page. I like following and talking to him. So it's pretty cool. It's insufferably intolerant science nerd, I believe is her handle. Yeah. So yeah, misandry. Yeah, that's right. Apologize, I always forget that. But yeah, it's a beautiful nation. There's a lot of great coastline. I'm interested in visiting Melbourne sometime. I hear they have got some of the best food and wines. And I'd always wanted to see Sydney, of course. See some of those areas. Check out some of the cool features of the country. Yeah, it's probably just a start drama. So true. Yeah, a lot of people have a hole in their heart and they're always trying to fill it with something. And the bigger that hole, the easier it's going to be for them to cram whatever ideology they want to in that brain. Do you know what I mean? The more like you feel like there's something missing in your world, or the more hurt you are, the more receptive you're going to be to whatever kind of crap they're going to try and program us to. And there's really a lot of government and commercialism involved in that. You don't have to fight wars with bullets, and people don't realize there's a kind of a strange war going on right now over the minds of people. And the people at large are losing pretty hardcore. Like, people are so easily outraged, they're so programmed to be angry, And, human beings behave pretty predictably when they're angry. So it's just like leading the lambs to the slaughter. Yeah, yeah, and you know, I think a lot of women have been hurt by men too, so that makes it easier for them to say that, patriarchal hierarchies is the what's wrong with the world. Toxic masculinity is what's wrong with the world. And I'll always put them to task when they bring that up too, because I'm like, if you want to really be scientific about it, we shouldn't dismiss toxic mothering or toxic femininity either, because toxic mothering is one of the prime causes for psychopathy in young males. And if you look at individuals who are violent psychopaths, they're predominantly males, but they all have one contributing factor, and it's usually a abusive, dominant, misandrist woman, a woman who hates males and abuses their son as a result, and that often develops these angers and hatreds towards women, and that's where you get a lot of the violence against women. Oh yes, yeah, it's obviously men's it's obviously men's fault. Yeah. Um. So and I don't hold it against her. She, no doubt, as because she was a prostitute, I'm sure many men abused her under the pretense of a job, right? So I can see where she gets that from. I can see how that might make her dislike men in general. I did see some interesting studies about and this is going to sound really weird, but a dysfunction, where women in that region have a dysfunction for satisfaction, or an issue with men. They have a problem with, I don't know. Okay, I'm just trying to say it in a way that's not blunt. But anyway, I guess there's an issue with female orgasm in the area or something like that. That they have a difficulty achieving that because of some problem. And there's these medical studies trying to figure out why women have an issue with it. Yeah, bad men. The remedy for that is definitely good men and good women too. Men need women who embody goodness. Yeah, same for its inverse. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, and in media in general. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, art has really suffered a lot, I think, in the last, so many years. And I mean that by all your medias, like your TV, your music. I mean, music is just terrible now. Like, we get shit like Wet Ass Pussy. I mean, how do we go from stuff like Shakespeare and Canterbury Tales to stuff like Wet Ass Pussy? No, and you're good. You're good. People need to express this their fire, internal fire, and they need to be able to do it without reprimand, without other individuals getting up in their face about it. We all need to learn to just kind of sit back and let other people flame without being angry at them, because we're all kind of angry and we all kind of need to vent that a little bit without other people being like, "Brr." Oh, yeah. No, I think that's a good enough way of looking at it. I think Satanas is as good a moniker as any for that, for what he's doing. to society. Yeah, that's a slippery slope. I mean, you start censoring a lot of stuff, you start burning books. Yeah. Yeah. Or even just alleviate it. Maybe help them feel better so that they can get it out and get it, get it off their chest. And maybe they can set it aside some and, yeah. Yeah. We could use a big, healthy society could use a big, healthy helping of that, Mr. Carroll. So you feel free to spread that message. I approve of that message. So. Oh, sure, I'm going to be playing this game for a while. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I suppose I can reload it depending on what happens. Yeah, it gives me a choice. Cool. Hmm. Understandably. That's not really something that we're supposed to understand. Just a drop in the ocean. Yeah, for people are rarely angered for no reason at all. People are always angered for some reason. I am content with not knowing. True. I just kind of like going with the flow. I am happy with just seeing the results. I don't try and understand. Yeah, I suppose that's the nature of faith, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It's an endlessly beautiful one, and that's enough for me. Um, I think people are always asking, what's the meaning of life and why do we exist? I think life is the meaning of life. The fact that we exist at all is a miracle enough. Pretty much. I like to use science to explain to people how life is a miracle. Because it drives atheists crazy. Yeah, I don't see a disconnect between science and theology. Well, I think the early introduction to most sciences naturally want to lend people towards atheism. Hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, God was evident in everything in people's minds then. Yeah, yeah, it is. Which is, why I say early introductions into science tend to make people naturally an atheist. But the deeper you get into, the natural sciences or even physics, the more the universe, you start to see the universe as a grand puzzle or a grand machine or a great symphony. And then obviously that brings the question, what structures the universe? What creates the laws that govern our reality? And if you're looking for God, I mean, in most most senses, wouldn't that be God? Wouldn't the rules that govern our reality? I mean, if you're looking from a scientific perspective. So, I think the people who've really spent time delving into looking at like adaptations or studying the behavior of particles, they really start to see that order to the universe that is God. It's awe inspiring, and once you're awed by the universe that we live in, it's hard not to get a feeling of interconnection. That yeah, 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 exactly. What makes it all work together? Deepak. Well, I'm pretty sure Deepak said he was a vegetarian, so I'm pretty sure he's a devout Hindi. Oh, I like good news. Lay it on me. Lay it on me, brother. Oh. Yeah, I like the Hindi people. They're good people. Um, what is it? The Maharajan, the ancient book of the Battle of the Gods for the Earth or whatever. Isn't that what that's called? It's just that epic poem about how they came down in their flying cities and fought furious battles for the. Yes, yeah, the gospel. Yeah, that's the gospel. And so it was written. No, I don't claim to be anything though, so don't misunderstand. I don't make claims to be Hindi or Christian. I don't like to take the label. Not because I'm afraid of what people think, but call it piety, maybe, if you will. I don't I don't claim to walk the line in the example of Christ. You'll never hear me say that. I also don't make promises. I abhor the concept of promises, for I do not believe that it is in the realm of mankind to make promises, and that promises are cruel because those are not for us to keep, you know? So, and my poor wife struggles amongst her Christian fellowship because it's very unusual for a pastor to, or an individual who's doing what she does, to not have a family who is fully the faithful. Do you know what I mean? So, she gets some heat from the churches, because to become a minister or a pastor, she has to be ordained, and churches can be very finical or finicky about that. So she has difficulty because I'm not a proclaimed believer. So obviously when she's attempting to get her ordinations, some churches look down on her because she's not married to a proclaimed believer. So that becomes a matter of contention for her, especially for some of the more holiness sects, like, the Church of God, or the Nazarene, or again, I'm sure the Catholics wouldn't necessarily approve, although the Catholics probably have far more experience with that kind of thing amongst marriages than the other two denominations do. But so it's kind of tough for her in that regards. I don't feel a calling to go to church. I don't feel a calling to Christian fellowship. I don't feel a calling to the discipleship. So I don't engage in the study of Scripture, and I don't engage in Eucharist, and I don't do these observances. So, as I have, I guess I won't want to say strange religion, because I don't have any and I'm not an occultist per se, even though I spend a lot of time reading. Like, I've read the bases of most major theologies that exist, and read the writings of the people who have, dedicated their lives to the study of Scripture, or other doctrines. So, but to me, I don't feel the calling to find God in a book. For me, I tend to want to find Him in the real world, and in everything. I look for God, if you will, and I'm using that term as broadly as you can expect. So I look for the word in everyday things, and in everything. I try and hear the whisper of the universe in everything. The Great Spirit resides in all things. So, the Logos of Aeon, yeah, Christ, Emmanuel's. The Sermon on the Mount in Matthew, yeah. Yeah. Cast not what is holy before dogs, nor ye pearls before swines. Yeah. No, Christ is a moral example, and a good one. It is true. And then, people, you can argue about the happenstance of the Bible endlessly, but the moral example of Christ is true, yes. And, Emmanuel Concepcion, or Immaculate Concepcion, I don't know what to say about that one, bro. The actual life. I think people get a very small snippet of the actual story of Christ's life. So I think there's so much stuff out there that has never been translated from Greek in 1,000 years that people just don't really know. Lost books of the Bible, years of his life that have been stricken. His progeny, no doubt he was a rabbi, no doubt he had children. It would be very strange for someone who was a man before his resurrection. He was a man, and he would not to have status as a rabbi amongst the Israelites, or to have children, and what happened to his children. So there's a lot of really strange things around him that has never been given to the people, so I'm generally distrustful of all that. I'm a fan of Well, and I guess it depends on how you look at the whole Revelations thing. I know some people say that the 1,000 years of darkness is what we've been living in now. Although if you ask the Illuminate, the Luciferianites, they would tell you that they've been enlightening the world for 1,000 years instead of enslaving us all with money. Sabedan in Satanas Domine est requiem. It's pretty early for philosophical fucking discussions. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. It's always good to talk to other folks. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Ugh. Huh? Holy crap sauce. Well, I guess I'm playing the good guy. See, I'm perpetually trapped as the good man. Really, I don't care. I'm just attracting followers. I'm just doing what a leader does. I am going into brave and dangerous new territory. Throwing myself into the fray. Oh crap, there's a cat, and it meowed on a Saturday. That's the work phone. That's my business. It usually means there's a terrible emergency. Why can't I run? Is my leg broken or something? Oops. Later in the locker room. I said, guys, I'm like you. I like monster trucks too. Wanna see how many push-ups I can do? I wish I was queer so I could get chicks, dig guys that are queer, guys that don't dig chicks, that don't dig guys like me. See, I'm not queer, I'm too ugly, but if I were handsome, just imagine how great it would be. Incognito as a gato, but also pseudo-homophony. Maybe it's a stupid theory, or maybe being in schooling with a supermodel would be easy. Because supermodel means voluptuous, but also is synonymous with super dumb. It wouldn't be a week until she'd treat me like a sister, and soon I'd become just another friend who cares, sits and rocks and braids her hair. No, it wouldn't be a week before I was in her underwear. I wish I was queer so I could get chicks, dig guys that are queer, guys that don't dig chicks, that don't dig guys like me. See, I'm not queer, I'm too ugly, but if I were handsome, just imagine how great it would be. Oh, I know I can't run. I'm fucking encumbered. Derp. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, sweet. It's a nice old flag, it's a grand old flag, it's a flag that we hold so dear. The fight, see the fight. Know that our hearts are near. Behind your web-footed friend, for a duck, maybe somebody's mother. Behind two ducks in the swamp, where the weather is damp. Oh, now I'm encumbered again. No, sir, I don't like it. Cuphead. Well, how do I use it? Ooh, that's how. It did not help my weight. Oh, nor will it. Freaking hiccups.
That's lovely.
Hello, dear.
Thanks for sharing.
What's the matter?
I walked in the room and she says, I'm going to the bathroom, Dad.
Oh, okay. Well,
I said, that's lovely.
that's
Thanks for
just,
sharing.
yeah, great to know. Oh, I did, Mr. Carroll. I decided to go with the Green Thumbs, and then stop the indentured mining town, and now I'm going there to remove the power cord doohickey me bobber so I can stick it in my plumbus. And then, I think that was probably going to grant me this girl as a follower, which would kind of like having her around, so she's useful. Big lummox. Wait a minute. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Aren't you supposed to be streaming?
I was.
What happened?
Well, I finished doing my stuff and you were having a very animated chat that was coming across very loud on my stream.
I broke it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I can turn it
I
off.
did my stuff. I mean, it's not that I didn't go ahead and do what I was doing. It was a little distracting. I kept thinking that you were about to walk in the room because it sounded like you were getting closer to
I
the
know,
door.
right? No, I was just probably getting.
Hi, Michael. No, it's fine.
Probably getting loud.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's like.
I love you.
It's
fine. I don't know that anybody else could hear you, but over the microphone, I could hear you. So I don't know.
Wait.
But I heard you were having some conversation about Jesus
No,
at some point.
no
and
way.
Religion and churches.
Logos Aeonis. Maybe. Not really.
Not really?
No.
It sounded like it.
No. Well, you know, everybody talk about Jesus.
You were talking about Jesus?
Sometimes
That's okay.
people are asking me about theology.
See, that's what my channel's for.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know, nobody should be asking me about. I'm just kidding. I started the conversation, so, you know, that's my fault.
I love you anyway. It was a very quiet stream today. Nobody was chatty with me. Which is okay.
I would have gone on there and
Sitting back
chatted with you.
enjoying
Okay.
the sounds.
People,
I hope.
people weren't talkative.
Oh, my microphone fell off of my table. That was fun.
Oh, is it?
I switched over so
I
that
want to
the
get rid of it.
Bible Gateway was showing, and I muted it while I fiddled with it to try and get it back onto my table. And I think I successfully reconnected it, but yes, it fell off. Thankfully, while I was holding it, it fell off, but it fell off the boom arm.
Is it working?
The boom arm works, but it doesn't like to hold on to that card table. I don't think it's designed for a table that's not got a flat bottom, because that's got the ridged underside. And I think that that's causing some issues with the screw-on part underneath the piece that you tighten it.
Yeah. I'm sure I can find some way to fix that.
It'll be okay. So are you streaming YouTube this morning, or are you streaming...
I haven't streamed on Twitch in forever. I don't know why I'm always picking YouTube. I really don't. I have no idea.
I don't know why either. Nobody...
But
And you even say on there to find you on Twitch.
But
You're just not on there.
that's kind of cruel, isn't it? It makes them like search for something that's not there.
It does. I mean, it's right on the bottom of your screen there. But you can't dual stream. You can't dual stream on yours, can you?
No, this piece of equipment does not allocate for that sort of thing. If I was using a computer, I suppose I could, but no. And if I was going to do a multi-platform, I would probably be doing a different show format than video gaming, although this does offer some conversational quandaries.
I like video gaming. They like to watch video gaming. Although they like to watch us banter back and forth and chit-chat
Well,
too.
as far as Twitch goes, just chatting is a pretty popular platform, or I'm sorry, popular format.
Oh yeah?
If you look at the just chatting, you'll see it's pretty popular.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I don't know. I use the ASMR platform obviously for mine. Maybe I should tag it as just chatting too.
Oh, yeah.
Into the category since I'm chatting.
Well, I would think so. Yeah, the people who are just looking to talk are probably going to be more likely to find you through either ASMR or the just chatting than they would any of the other ones on there.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's an option. I will say drinking NOS in the morning while I'm trying to stream is probably not the best option.
Yeah.
Drinking the NOS tends to make my tummy bubbly.
I see.
Yeah. And my stomach rumbles pick up on that microphone really well.
Really? That's funny. Your microphone's too sensitive. Turn the gain down.
But I want the gain up so that they can hear my pops and my ticks and things with my mouth.
And people actually put filters up on those microphones so that they can stop the pop and tisks. I think if you turn...
Not ASMRists.
But...
ASMRists want that. That pop and tisk is what gives people the tingles.
But do you need that much gain on it? Yes. That so much that it...
Excuse me.
Well, I guess it is how loud you want your pop and tisk. People who are using a filter are usually yelling or singing, so...
I don't want either. Well, I have sung on my channel. I sang a lullaby on my YouTube stream.
Oh.
So anybody wanting to know what I sound like when I sing, there you go.
You need the high gain for the ASMRs. Well, it's got it. That microphone has high enough gain that it is picking up the rumbly in her tumbly.
It's only sitting at half.
Like,
I mean, I can't imagine turning that thing up to 100 gain.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
I've seen, I think GB turned hers up to 100% once, and I can't imagine. No. Every creak, squeak in this house would be picked up.
So some of that could be audio engineering through your recording platform too. So some of that could be dependent on that. And I haven't really played around enough with XSplit to really get into the audio on it. So I couldn't tell you how it's equalized or what kind of codecs it uses for doing its sound. So haven't really looked into it. So you may be able to get more or less based on what you're using.
I think it picks up really well. I mean, people seem to enjoy the channel, other than my microphone boom arm falling off today.
Well, there's an awful lot of background noise in our house, so... especially in the morning.
What is this game?
It's called Outer Worlds.
That graphic reminds me of the Nuka Cola game.
Well, it's kind of made by the same people, kind of. So
Did
this,
I just say loose lips?
yes, this is a company town. Loose lips equals pink slips. That's what it says in red. So this is a space colony, right? And obviously a corporation owns it, right? So the corporation has imported individuals here on indenture, okay? And then, of course, there's the town is owned, everything's owned, the food is owned. You have to rent your gravesite. In the beginning, you meet this guy as a gravedigger, and he's talking about how they have to rent their grave sites, and he makes you collect money from 3 people so they can pay for their interment. They're not even dead, but he's like, you got to pay the company. So we had the choice between supplying power to a village of people who escaped, or helping this guy power his factory.
So did you choose to help the dude power his factory then?
No, hell no.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Down with the corporate overlords. So, yeah, I'm totally all about anarchy. Look how happy these people are.
I don't even see people, so yes, it's very much that Nuka-Cola game-ish with the outfits. And
It's made by the same people, sort of.
so what's that one? Fallout, right?
Yeah,
Fallout.
yes, they all.
Space Fallout. So far you have.
You don't have to condense every game to previous franchises. Like, I get it, okay? This is not Space Farmville. You got me on Space Fallout, though. Like, I can't. How am I supposed to?
You can never argue with me about that, though, because when you say them, and I'm like, oh, it's this one, and you're like,
But.
Space Fallout.
Uh-oh. See, now the constable is like, because she's a company woman, and, like, that's the law. They have to contemplate the scriptures.
This person made turkey nachos. Are we getting out of their leftover turkey? We should do turkey nachos.
No. Okay, I will make you turkey nachos if you'd like.
I always like. I like food.
You want, corn or flour?
Corn tortilla. The chips. The ones we got. Do we have any?
We don't have, like, made chips, and I don't have tortilla to fry you any at the moment.
Well, it sounds like it's a trip to the...
It's Saturday. It's not a trip to the anything. I'm doing my Saturday morning cartoons.
I thought we were doing building the bathroom.
Building and stuff, like, that's fun and all, but...
Saturday morning cartoons.
You know what? Fine, you're right. I'm turning this off, and you're getting up and you're doing measurements. You ready to do measurements right now? You have to do spatial work with me, so we have to align linear planes on other planes.
What I need? Do you know what I really need?
What you need?
Giant sheets of paper.
I don't have those, woman. I don't have those. Well, sorry.
Life so much simpler.
Are we getting
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
Oh, that's funny. Instagram.
What's Instagram doing now?
Being funny. Normal people are people in the spacey hazmat suits with the air filters and the like they're walking around with space helmets on.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorists are having
You want to know what
Thanksgiving
gets my
dinner.
bile churning?
It's like a Norman Rockwell
Edgewater
painting
has
of
suffered a
having dinner.
cavalcade of disasters, blamed for all his desertion. Then you wanted
I
this.
just found that funny. It's like
And
a
I was
road
so
worship
damn
leader
sure our
being
luck was
you.
starting to turn.
Oh, nope, that was libertarian.
I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Why did I do it? Well, it's not personal. I need your power, regulator. Yeah, I should be righteous. I'm teaching you a lesson because it's my job to teach you, Mr. Reeve Thompson. Teach you the things that you obviously don't know. No, I don't think I'm more inclined to just say this. Or should I let my blaster do the talking? I really kind of wanted to play this like I was just going to let the blaster do the talking, but they forced me into dialogue. I can understand, though, after they spent hundreds of hours writing dialogue trees, it would be a shame for somebody to just blast their way through it all, wouldn't it?
Are you talking to me? Or are you talking to the characters on the TV?
I'm proposing a moral quandary to Socrates.
Okay. No, I wasn't paying attention.
Neither was he.
That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
Of course you do.
Oh, this is funny. So, remember I was talking about ceremonial laws and civil laws and moral laws in scripture the other
Yes.
day? So, I'm on Instagram right now and they have Funniest Christian. And guess what they're talking about?
I don't know.
Which laws you follow and why, and which laws you don't and why. And I'm like, oh, I just did this in my sermon last weekend.
There you go, hot topic.
It is, apparently.
Hot
Well, I knew
topic.
it was a hot topic. It's always a hot topic. But it's the why do you still eat pork and wear mixed
Edgewater's
fabrics
dead.
and,
Our cannery's
you know,
dead. Adelaide's
understanding the
deserters
difference in the laws
are
and
never coming back.
why
Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of
ceremonial
illness
laws
by then.
like
Some
don't
will
wear
move on.
tattoos
Some will starve. And
that
as
we
for me,
don't follow
I will tender my resignation.
because they were
Whereupon
established
I
for a
shall be
particular
processed
point in
and
time,
duly
or they
imprisoned
were
for good.
established
So he's got to go to prisons.
for the running of the country and things that don't apply, and then moral laws that still apply because it's God's nature and will and action for our lives. So yes, very, very funny, or interesting, not funny, but interesting that's on Instagram this morning when that was my sermon last week. But maybe it's because I talk about it and my phone is like, here, same topic.
I wouldn't blame the phone.
Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
You could always go to the deserter camp. But of course, as I should have known, the majority of the people in this city will be like, oh, I'm out of a job. What do I do now? What do I do? If I can't stamp widgets, what is my life worth? Bzz, 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 says the Babylon bee.
Look at that sloth baby hanging on the sloth mama's belly.
Well, I'm definitely going to go down there, buddy, and I'm definitely going to take that thing. Let's see what she has to say. I guarantee it's the same thing. I don't have a job now. Somebody ruined this whole place.
You picked a fine time to visit, stranger.
Yeah. Conversation hasn't changed. Losing your job is a terrible thing. Fortunately enough for us worker bees, they're always making new ones.
I paid his burial fees, didn't I? Let the dead sleep.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
She did not want to talk about that. She did not enjoy that conversation.
No, because she's evil, and a couple of people conspired to murder a dude for his golden teeth.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
My Twitch stream summary today was 1 new follower,
Well, see, you're doing better than I am.
7 unique views. I didn't realize I had 7 people pop in.
Well, yeah.
0.4 average viewers. That means they only
Didn't
stay
anyone
for
ever
like a
tell you
quarter
not to
of
go
the-
rifling through other people's
or half
correspondence?
of the stream.
The only thing I regret sometimes about these games is like when they say things to you. I like the old format where you really could just pull out your blaster and blast them. Although I don't know, maybe you can do this. And
Ooh, I've averaged one.
yeah, I do what I want.
Yeah? Well, disabuse
Streamed
yourself
on
of
5
any
out of
clever
7
notions
days.
involving extortion.
6 and
I'll
a
have you
half
know
on
nothing
8
I wrote in
hours.
that letter was unlawful.
I'm not planning on streaming
Never mind.
tomorrow, by the way.
I don't have to explain
I'm
myself
not
to
gonna do
you.
a Sunday stream because I'm already gonna be
Yeah.
posting sermon videos and YouTube videos
I don't understand.
on the channel.
I found Eugene's body. I know the guy shot himself. Wait, are you telling me he was
I got
murdered?
21 out of my 50 followers, though. Almost halfway there. Way faster than I picked that up on YouTube.
Like I didn't have enough to worry about. Now I've got to keep one eye peeled for a possible criminal. This is
Yeah,
all
I
over
swear
the
people are liars in this too, which is very unusual for NPCs
Wasn't
to have a
suicide.
bunch
Time
of
we'll have to
like
pay a penalty.
sneaky lying people. I kind of like that all these people are kind of like convoluted and devious.
You would like that.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be playing a game, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I would not want to have to be surrounded by cantankerous, devious buttholes in reality, which I've had plenty of swimming around in their bullshit in my life. But sometimes in a game, it's fun because then I can finally be that person who's... And this is what I was saying earlier about this moral quandary around playing games, that no matter how much I try to be the bad guy or let my blaster do the talking, I always end up reverting to being the good guy and following the...
Didn't you try that on Red Dead Redemption and then you just like
I put my whole life
Got-
in that cannery.
shot
You must be very
up
proud.
real bad?
No, I did go bad for a little while, but I was just like, meh, and then I just ended up going back to running around doing good stuff.
Contemplate the scripture.
Just no, I don't know why I naturally gravitate towards those kind of conversational...
You're lawfully good.
Yeah. You find that funny as you may.
I find it funny that you are lawfully good in general and in mentality, and yet you try to play characters that are not,
It's fun.
and you can't do it, and then you like totally botch the character.
Yeah, because I'm just split. I need to just go for the gusto, right? I need to just go one way or the other. I need to embrace the meanie pants.
Yes, you
And
either
be-
need to embrace the meanie pants and be the meanie pants in the game,
Eh.
or embrace the lawfully good and bow down every time there's a battle.
Mm.
And I mean that literally. Bow down and pray every time there's a battle, and ask for wisdom and direction.
I know, that's what I'm supposed to be doing in Dungeons and Dragons, but I can't play a cleric to save my life.
I told you, like you were on your turn getting ready, and I'm like, the thing you need to do is pray. And what'd you choose? You chose to cut the dude's head off, and he was an angel.
Well, you know, I'm sorry. I'm a dwarf. I'm somewhat of a xenophobe. I shouldn't even be out of my mountain. And I'm in an abbey that is completely filled with horrendous suffering monstrosities. Right? I honestly thought I was doing the good thing, just like the angel thought that he was doing the good thing by trying to twist these people into something better than they were. You know, by trying to make them greater, he was...
I understand.
creating-
But had you prayed, would your dungeon master not have granted you some kind of wisdom?
Some kind
or
of guidance. Yes, probably. He was trying really hard to prompt, and they were doing good until I came back in. I had to go to the restroom or something, and I come back, and I was just like, burn him. Well, actually sat down and said, this place is evil. And he got offended because I said the place was evil. And I think my friend was at that point just annoyed. He was like, Dungeon Master was like, all right, I'm annoyed. This is terrible.
He will die.
He's supposed to be holy, and he's like,
Yes, he's warned you multiple times that you need to.
No, it hasn't necessarily warned me for not doing holiness stuff, but for, that people need to play their alignment. And for the most part, I have been playing lawfully good for what I would think would be good stuff. Again, I'm a dwarf, so to me, seeing the Abbey like that was terrible and evil to see people twisted.
Yeah.
So my character was like, this is terrible.
So, did you all die?
No, but Irina did, and Strahd took her, so that's about as bad an outcome as could possibly. It's like the riot that we created a few games before.
Yeah.
It was just a completely foobar scenario, and he was no doubt annoyed. I can only imagine how more difficult our final confrontation with Strahd is going to be now. He's probably going to have Irina with him, and she's going to be like beating the ever-living piss out of us. He's probably going to kill us all at the end.
Aww.
Yeah, he don't play around.
Well, he's tried to kill you off like 3 times, and you guys keep eking by.
Yeah, well, we have an unusually tough group makeup. Our group format is pretty beefy, so he's kind of. I mean, I went naked so that I could.
I know.
Have an 18 armor class because I couldn't even afford to carry clothing. You killed him? Ooh, spacer choice is not my friends. Okay, cool. Let's kill them all.
Are you playing with somebody, or are you...
So, this game has what's called companions. It's an NPC follower.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, if it was an actual person or if it was an in-game character.
No, I'm having difficulty locating this doohickey bob I need. What have I done to my quests?
So are you streaming on YouTube?
Yes, dear.
Okay, I'm going to turn my volume down. That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Oh, it's just saying go back to my ship because I have it. Yeah, it is a return to my ship. You would think all these people would go to the village next door, but
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
they undoubtedly didn't. And I don't suppose talking to them will make that any more or less.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
Okay, goodbye.
Heard you've been taking down marauders.
Yeah, nobody seems to care. I'm sure that will have some sort of lasting repercussions later.
Is Reed hiding in there?
I like the anatomical cross sections that they draw in here. It always reminds me of the turn of the century, like English biology diagrams. Ay, ay, ay. Well, it looks like I've got a few side quests to still do. Really close. Damn it, I just came out of there. Ay, ay, ay. There we go.
I put my whole life in that cannery. You must be very proud.
Oh, you can't go up there and get it. Because it's closed off. Huh. Oops.
Ooh, Crowder got into it with Antifa.
He did.
On campus.
Dang it. I'm gonna go through that loading screen again. Oh god. Oh, so now they're using common sense to tell.
Oh, except that people don't have common sense.
Well, you know. It's just trading one extremism for another. And there's a lot of hypocrisy in that ideology. You see that a lot. Kind of like that Australian science lady I was talking about, who's the activist for like anti-vaxxing and gay rights and stuff. She's like, it's some pretty extremist shit too. But they say it's like in the name of fighting extremism, we're like going out and getting up in people's faces. And she really likes to pick, start it with anti-vaxxers a lot. That used to be her big kick. And then after that, it was all the anti-gay people. But I'm like, you do realize by getting up in their face and behaving in the way that you do, you're really no different than they are. You're really just like them. And instead, what I expected was someone to be more reasonable and understanding or even enlightened. But instead, what I find is just someone who's just as extreme and angry and problematic as everybody you are supposed to be against. You're just the other side of the same coin. I said, some of these anti-vaxxers are people who are just confused or scared or misled or misunderstood
some of them are just moms who are desperate just because they don't understand the nature of autism, and they think that they need to cure their children or help their children, and they do things like give their children bleach instead of being pissed at, these women for being desperate. Why don't you look at maybe helping them understand better about what's going on? And I think it took a while for this particular individual to sort of temper that outrage enough to start being beneficial, because I always say that this angry science thing that people are doing, that's detrimental to actual science communication, because you're not really communicating something to people, you're just fucking bashing it over their head, and no one wants to hear that. And I'm like, you actually do a disservice to the scientific community by behaving that way. Do you know what I mean? If you really care about communicating the truth to people, then figure out a way to understand them enough to communicate what you're actually saying, instead of being a fucking angry lesbian about it. And then, typically they get pissed at me. And for the most part, when I was saying it early on, I was being kind of shitty about it just because I was pretty annoyed. And then I realized in many ways I was just kind of engaging in the same kind of shit. But after a while, man, and I see that community's kind of calming down too. For a long time, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye were kind of forefronting that social thing. We're angry atheists, and we're, it's crazy, crazy. Dirty Harry, do you feel like the
Crowley.
punk? Oh, okay. He's doing his Dirty Harry impression.
Anybody who ever came out this far.
Yes. Well, I'm Greg Crowder's enjoying his Blaze Network TV status.
What I wouldn't do for a Wentworth. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
What the hell are you watching?
The Good Omens.
Oh, Good Omen? Okay.
It's just
Probably.
just a scene.
These games always got a weird sense of humor. Is it the new season or something?
No, I was just watching a small part of it.
Ah. That was pretty good. I really like Terry Pratchett though, so that was an easy sell on that one.
I'm a fan of
Doctor Who woman.
not Matt Smith. Yes, my brain has fried this morning. It's not functional. Oh, why is my brain not
What is
functioning?
it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened
Dang
anyway?
it, I had the hiccups all morning.
I know. I could
Zoe
hear them.
joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me.
David Tennant.
Least I can do is pay you for your trouble.
Wow, that took me way
Let me
too
know
long.
if I can do something for you.
And I do like David Tennant too. One of the better doctors, I suppose. Dun 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 dun. I've leveled up. All right. Oh, what do we have here? We got dialogue. What's happening? Pew, 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 pew. Are you watching the girl with the Tourette's?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Her name is Trippy Hippie?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
My thing won't let me do subscribe button though. There we go. Took that time.
Honk honk. What is she making today?
She's trying to stack cups.
They're giving someone with tics stacking cups? What kind of sadistic people are they?
Well, she's doing it herself.
I see.
She's trying.
Training.
She tries to show
What it's like?
what it's like
I see.
and the struggles. The one girl drives. I'm like, I don't know how you drive with Tourette's because, like, you're.
I see. Stealing time, stealing time.
She keeps blowing the
knows
cups
it's
though.
stealing
She's like, dang it.
Okay.
She gets pretty high up there and then she.
Don't mind if I do. Kleptomania, kleptomania. Stealing people's stuff from their toilet bacon. My favorite part's when she's like, ah. And
I think
chicken.
it's funny when they're like, pick it up. And they tell other people to pick the stuff up that they've made a mess with.
She just made a what's her name sound? A Cardi B sound. She's like, "Brrrt."
Oh yeah, kind of.
What the hey yo?
She's trying to suppress her tics, and then she shows what happens when she suppresses
That makes
them.
it worse, doesn't it?
It can, yes. She talks about how it can actually lead to a tick storm,
Yeah.
when she suppresses it.
Well, yeah.
She's also talked about ways that she's found that she can suppress it, like singing will help.
You hear that?
Oh, sure. It
Low, pleasant hum of electricity.
works that
It whispers
part of the
across
brain
air like a
associated with
whistle change.
speech that
You've done
is
well.
getting all the extra
I paid my last 5 bits to see
activity.
the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, lady. Unfortunately, I had to murder him. Honestly, at this point, I'm questioning, would I had to have murdered you guys? Had I just shut the power off, you guys maybe would have went home, and no one would have had to have been murdered. Yep.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left.
Well, that explains a few other things that mysteriously happened in Edgewater 2, I suppose.
Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go.
Yeah, now?
Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties.
Feed them people, you horrible woman. I regret helping you as much. There's no good. Among us, among us, among us. Pew, pew. Steal your stuff. Steal your stuff. Oh, my internet's crapping out.
It always does.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I don't even think anybody else is up to be on it.
Oh, I guarantee they're all on it. They're always on it.
You're always on it.
That sounds like a plan. Let's turn this off. Steal her stuff, steal her stuff. She don't need it. Yeah, you know, it may have not been right, but I suppose this is a better place for all those people if they so decide that they want it. Wait, spit it out, son. He's like, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. Wait, did she sound shocked that he's keeping a baby? As opposed to what? Aborting it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you could. Maybe you should. How you gonna hate babies, lady? I mean, I love babies when they belong to other people.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I love you, Kelly. I love your babies. What are you watching? Chef hat? I stole a shovel. I really didn't need that. She's ordering herself flowers because her husband forgot?
Oh, she's a wasp mom. I can't remember what those.
What does wasp mom mean?
I don't know.
Is that like a crunchy mom?
I don't know. I'm looking. Traditionally, the acronym stands for White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Fairly common term, generally refers to upper-class Ivy League or Seven Sister educated, probably East Coast originated people.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be the Karens, the ones that are like, "Can I get you a manager?" Like that's what it's.
Oh, really? I see. So, I get it. Why is that killing me? Oh, duh, because it's their power regulator. Duh. Unless it's a baby. She didn't sound like she was too happy about loving that baby they were talking about. I think that's probably how Jackie's gonna be soon, don't you think?
What?
With the whole baby thing. Do you know what I mean? And she's gonna be like, Fred, get in the car.
No.
Oh.
No, I think she'll. I don't know.
Think she'll love them little babies.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm just not sure how she'll react to it.
Oh,
I think she'll be torn because I think she'll want to tell her to take care of it in an alternate way, but she'll be torn with how that.
yeah, I don't know about this one. I really don't.
I don't know.
Spacer chow. Get me beer on spacer chow. Frozen TV dinners.
Oh, I haven't taken my allergy meds yet. That would be why.
Woman, you need to breathe.
I need to go check my oxygen levels.
Breathing is good for you.
Breathing is good for me, but I need to check my oxygen
She
levels.
blinded me with science. She blinded me with the science. Let me turn them down to G. Poking eyes, the whoopee stick.
Running at 100% though.
In the ham wallet. Oh yeah, run at 100%. That means you're absorbing it. Well, your absorption is good. Your iron levels must be good. I saw some correlation between proper iron levels and longevity. I don't remember what it was.
Your iron level carries your oxygenated blood, so...
Oh yeah, yep, and helps you metabolize oxidants. I also saw something about hyperbaric chambered oxygen also is being tied to longevity. So individuals who spend time in hyperbaric chambers live longer.
That's why my mom's gonna live forever.
I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. Well, and it's the biochemistry. It may sustain her biochemistry longer, but that doesn't help with our skeletal structure or our muscular structure. Do you know what I mean? That stuff wears out. I honestly think that because our nutritional value has been reduced, because the nutrient gain from our food has been reduced to a point where our bone density is being lessened, so we don't have the minerals in our diet to harden our bones enough. And then you mix that with all the activities that we do now, like the writing and rowing and typing and all of that stuff. People. Well, I think there was a time when the strain on them was fine because our diet allowed for our diets created strength in our physiology, and I think that's been reduced by our food intake, and I think that's one of the reasons why our physiology is deteriorating more now. We also live a lot longer, so I suppose you're right. We weren't meant to get that many rotations. And this will all be solved with Neuralink and the advent of cloning technologies. When we will just digitize the human consciousness and then download it into clones. And that sounds like science fiction, but don't you believe it? In 50 years or so, we'll have technology to do it.
What's your drive? Oh.
Probably will be doing it.
Babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship.
I mean, we have neurological implants that allow the remote control of robotics already, and that proof of concept was proven in apes several years ago. So it's not like this is even science fiction today. So your indentured to spacer choice.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice.
Girl, you got a choice. Come with me.
You can say no.
Oh, you take my hand. Don't.
I could tend to your
I'm gonna
I know my
prove
G-valves
every
from my
word I
catalysis, and
say.
I can keep your ship safe.
Bye-bye, Michael. You have a good day. Or good evening.
I can do that too. What do you think?
It's nice chatting with you.
Somebody leave in the chat?
Yeah. I'm surprised they hung around as long as they did. What's up, baby?
Nothing. Coming to sit.
Yeah, come sit.
I mean, thanks. You won't
What you
regret
doing? You
this.
putting on nails?
Yeah.
Sweet, you can scratch me.
I can call you Captain now. I got a captain.
Yes, we got a captain.
I gave my nails a few days
What
to heal from.
time is it? It's almost 9. Kids had breakfast? I suppose I should go make some breakfast, huh?
Ate cereal, and nobody else is up, or at least not downstairs.
What about you?
What about me?
What about you?
Well, I drank a Nos and I just took
Well,
a whole bunch of pills.
I certainly
so-
am looking forward to